Welcome to the introduction video of this big effing perfect dark tournament. And what you see on your screen now is the winner's bracket. 147 participants, myself included. Every character model selectable in the game, plus every default simulant with each difficulty variation. So that's a big old list. Every round will have its own weapon set and level selected for it. So, for example, round one here is 21 matches. All 21 of those matches will have the same map and the same weapon set. And for round two, all that switches up. But every match in a given round will have the same level and weapon set. Now, when writing down the list of who moves on, first place will be on the outside of the list, and the last place moving on will be on the inside of the list. So I guess I'll zoom in and show you what I mean. So if I get first place, I move on to get top of the list. But let's say if the Pelagic 2 guard gets first place, he'll be placed at the top of the list, and whoever gets the lowest score gets to be the bottom. Down here at the bottom of the bracket, like I said, it's the opposite. First place will be here and the lowest score will be here. Now there is somewhere around here, well, wherever it is, the middle of the bracket, I believe, here it is. This would be the middle of the bracket. First place, second place, third place, fourth place will be alternating since they split the difference in the middle. Now, if anybody loses a match and gets eliminated, they get transported to the loser's bracket. Now, what does the loser's bracket look like? It looks like this. It looks a little crazy. The way that I made this a while ago, I could have made it prettier. I may actually redesign it, not redesign it, but redraw it so some of these aren't so squished together. But still, it's going to be simple to understand. I'll explain it as we move along in the tournament. But here, in this first round of the loser's bracket, is where all of the people who will get eliminated will be moved to for the first round. You see these open spaces that aren't connected to anything on the left side. These are where people will be placed when they lose further into the winner's bracket. Ooh. And level and weapons will all be the same, just like in the winner's bracket. Now, one thing I want to make note, and it's going to be important for understanding moving on, is how I number the rounds in the losers and second losers bracket. The first round here is not going to be labeled as round one, because technically round one was completed only in the winner's bracket. There was no match for round one here. That keeps, for me, it helps me keep it organized better to call the first round of the loser's bracket round two, because we'll go in order. We'll go winner's bracket, then loser's bracket, and then second loser's bracket. It helps me to keep it flowing properly. All the names get input in their correct locations at the correct time. It just helps out a lot more. Now, as far as match type goes, let's say, for example, round one of the winner's bracket would be hold the briefcase. It's not, but just example, hold the briefcase. First round of the loser's bracket does not necessarily have to be hold the briefcase. In most cases, I'm going to keep the match type the same for whatever the winner's bracket is. The loser's bracket will be the same scenario if the player lineup supports that match type. In most cases it will, but there will be a few cases that the player lineup does not fit the match type for the winner's bracket. And the same thing for the second loser's bracket. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the second loser's bracket. And there we have the second loser's bracket. This one looks a little bit neater and cleaner, a little better laid out than the first loser's bracket, because I did a little differently. I put 2 spaces here so that I could account for the names being added into the middle of the bracket, so they wouldn't run into these vertical lines and confuse myself and everybody else. But if you'll see here, they got round 1 and 2 with nothing. So that means that the first round of the second loser's bracket is going to be labeled as round 3. Players are entered here from the second loser's bracket. So just to restate that in another way, if you lose in the second loser's bracket, you get transported to the corresponding round. The first round of the second loser's bracket is going to just be one match, a 7-man match. I wanted to do it this way so that we could see who the ultimate loser is without having to do extra matches behind the first round here. So just whoever ends up losing this is the ultimate loser of the bracket. I'll be keeping track of who is eliminated and when. I'm not going to keep track of if they lose once and they get moved down to the bracket. I'm just going to keep track of when they lose from the second loser's bracket. Now, once you have somebody who's reached the end of all 3 brackets, all 3 of those people or participants will be placed into 3-man matches together, different styles. It'll be a multi-match setup. And just like you've seen, this is kind of like a knockout style tournament. The person in last place gets eliminated. So the person in last place loses a point, and it'll just be like an elimination system. We'll just keep doing matches of different types and weapon sets and levels until there is only one left, only one person left, and that person will be declared the winner of this big effing Perfect Dark tournament. Now, levels. Let's talk about level selection. All right. All right, in the current version of Perfect Dark All-in-One, this is the full list of levels that you can play in the game. That's a lot of levels. God, I remember the day when it was just this. Oh, how far technology's allowed us to come. All right, so in a round of the tournament, like I said before, in every match of a given round, we played on the same map and the same weapon set. So I'll go ahead and already tell you all that the first match of the first round is just going to be Scatter, because I like to start at the first of the list, and then we'll start doing our jumping around after that. Now, the first round is Perfect Dark maps. Round 2 is a map from Perfect Dark Solo. Round 3 is a GoldenEye map. And round 4 is a map from the import custom list. Now, what I do want to have happen is most, if not all, of these maps are going to get played on at some point during this tournament. Um, Now, when we are right smack in the middle of things and all three brackets are being run, they're going to be, in a given round, each bracket is going to pull from the same pool of levels. So let's say, for example, we're just in the middle of things and we're on a perfect dark map round, okay? So that means that every bracket will be pulling a map from this list at random. Once a map is used, it will be crossed out, and that level is no longer allowed to be used until the entire list has been selected, and then it'll all be cleared up, and then every level is selectable again from that list. So if when all three brackets are going, if one chooses to scatter, loser's bracket would be on pipes, and then loser's bracket second would be on ravine. And then those three would get crossed off the list. Then the next round, next round, next round. And then when it circles back around to a perfect dark round, three others will get selected. One would be the losers, one would be second losers, another would be winner's bracket. So do it like that. You can see the GoldenEye list is the longest list. The solo list is the shortest list. This list will cycle back around. Definitely. Don't know yet if this will get cycled back around. I'll be choosing these at random as we go along. I haven't predetermined what everything is going to be. Match types and limits, that's all set out, but I'm not going to list those because that'll be part of the mystery when moving on in the tournament. Personally, I am super excited to see all of this list get utilized. As I'm recording this, some of these levels I've played a ton, but others, some of the newer levels, are still pretty fresh to me, and that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, one last thing I want to talk about before we put an end to this introduction video is the weapons. Now, when selecting the weapons, this is the complete list of weapons in the game as they appear in the game. The only things not listed is nothing, disabled, and shield. Most likely there will not be a shield in the entire tournament. Maybe there will be if there's like a special occasion. But the reason I've taken the shield off of the list is because we've got shield sims and we've got turtle sims. And for other sims to have access to a shield would kind of defeat the purpose of having a shield sim or turtle sim. And likewise with all of the dark sims, if there's a shield on the map, then all the darks spawn in with a shield. And that's not good for balanced gameplay for my tournament. So shield is not going to be seen in the tournament. There are preset weapons in the weapons menu. You know, pistols, automatics, explosives, heavy. You've seen them. We'll be working our way down those, and wherever there's a shield and the disabled, I'll replace those two with weapons that complement the existing lineup. I may shuffle some weapons around in their slots, but they will not be removed. Only shield and disabled will be removed. Now, there's only 12 preset weapon setups. So that the winner's bracket has 20 rounds. So that does not cover every round. So we'll be utilizing random. That's what this list is for. In the all-in-one mod, you're able to select which weapons that random will choose from. So the first time that we use random, everything will be selectable. And yes, even these. Even these three right here. Ridiculous, but you can pick them up. You can select them, so they're there. Every time we get a weapon from the random selection, we'll cross it off of the list, and the next time that we use the random selection, those weapons that have been used and crossed off already will not be available to choose from in the random weapon set. I also have a couple of, more than a couple, I have a handful of custom weapon sets that either I like playing with myself, or just some other, some other theme that makes sense. We'll like to keep it fresh for every match. And I believe that's everything that I want to talk about in this introduction video. This is not the flashiest of videos, but then again, this is just me talking about the tournament. If you care to watch it, thank you very much. If you didn't watch this, I'm sure I'm going to be explaining a bunch of this stuff as we go in the tournament. And that's pretty much what I can think of. I hope you guys enjoy the tournament that I am making. It's a passion project of mine. I've done this a lot of times, but never to this scale, and never documented on video. So let's see what happens. Catch y'all in the tournament.